Hey guys, it's Clayton here. Welcome back to a new video. Hope you're all doing well. Today is Monday, April 27th of 2026. It is currently at 9:24 p.m. Also, today is my sister's 22nd birthday. So Ava, if you ever see this, happy birthday. This video is basically a concert review for the concert I went to last night. Haven't done a concert review in a while, so here we go. Yeah, last night was my sixth time going to a free show at Cha Cha Lounge in Capitol Hill in Seattle. Love going to Cha Cha Lounge. It's always a great show there. It was my 14th concert of the year and my 310th concert of my life. Also, I brought my friend Landon to this concert. It was his third concert of his life. Pretty sure the only other two shows he's been to were at Climate Pledge Arena. So like last night was the closest he's ever been to a band. So it's really cool to experience the show with him. I'm glad I got to bring him to that. We saw three bands last night. There was, in order of who played, there was N3ster, Pileup, and Fell Off. Both N3ster and Fell Off are local to Seattle, but Pileup is from Portland. It's my first time seeing Pileup. It was my 12th time seeing N3ster and my 14th time seeing Fell Off. Two of my favorite local bands out of Seattle, Washington. Amazing time. Yeah, I don't know if I already said this, but along with this being a concert review, this is also going to be the outro for my concert vlog whenever I finally get around to editing that. I haven't been editing concert vlogs for a while. But anyways, Landon and I, we left the house. We left my house around maybe around 5:30, 5:40-ish. I think it was around 5:30. Took us about an hour to get to Capitol Hill. We got there around like 6:40-ish. I was wanting to go to Zion's Gate Records before they closed, and they closed at 7 o'clock. So we were able to park across the street from Cha Cha Lounge in a parking lot. Parking costs around $23. Even though I think on Sundays in Seattle there's always like free parking on the street, but I just don't trust myself or other people to park on the street. So I just parked in the parking lot. After we parked, we went to Zion's Gate Records. I looked at 9 Inch Nails records and Depeche Mode because those are my top two favorite bands. But didn't see anything I needed. And then I looked at 21 Pilots because lately I'd been wanting to find Regional at Best. I was looking on eBay. I had found a copy on there, but I decided to look at Zion's Gates in the 21 Pilots section to see if I could find Regional at Best, and I did find it for a steep price. So here's Regional at Best. Things like any copy you can get is probably obviously like a bootleg. This album cover, it's more like looks kind of like a cartoonish version of the actual album cover. The cover looks a bit animated. But I'm excited. I listen to a different album every day, so this is going to be today's album. It costs $69.99 plus tax. Including taxes, around $77. So, like I said, pretty steep price, but happy to have this in my collection. Yeah, so I purchased this, and then we went to Dave's Hot Chicken. It was Landon's first time getting Dave's Hot Chicken. It was also his first time in Capitol Hill. But yeah, we ordered our food around like 7:10-ish, 7:15, and took probably 25 to 30 minutes to wait for our food. I thought it wouldn't take quite as long. Usually when I go to Dave's Hot Chicken, it's after a show at Cha Cha, and takes 30 to 40 minutes. It didn't look super busy when we walked in, but it did take quite a while. While we were waiting, they were playing like 80s music over the speakers in there, which was pretty cool. I remember I was waiting for the bathroom, and there was this guy by the kiosk where you could just use a touchscreen and order, and he was by me, and the song "Don't You Want Me" by the Human League was playing, and he was singing a little bit, so I started singing along because I know some of the lyrics, and so I ended up telling him that the Human League is playing at Marymore Park in Redmond on June 8th, which he did not know about, so he was glad I told him about that. might end up seeing him there at that concert. I also told him that Soft Cell, who does Tainted Love, is going to be there too. Um, Gosh, this is just not like just a concert review. It's like the whole night being recapped. Um, and if you're curious, I got the at Dave's Hot Chicken. I got the slider with chicken tender and fries. I think it was like mild spicy. Pretty great though. After Landon and I were done waiting for our food, which, like I said, was about 25 to 30 minutes, we walked back to my car and just put our to-go boxes on the trunk of my car and just ate there for a few minutes. And then we put it in the trunk of my car along with Regional at Best because I didn't want any valuables showing in my car. We put it in the trunk and then we walked across the street to Cha Cha Lounge. By the time we got into Cha Cha Lounge, it was probably about 7:50. On the post for the show online, it said music started at 8 and doors open at 7. Right before I walked into Cha Cha Lounge, I bumped into Rob, who's the lead singer, or only singer of Fell Off. One of my favorite people. I love Rob. He's awesome. So I got to chat with him for a little bit. He told me that Fell Off was going to be recording some new songs, maybe like 7 or 8 songs in May. So I'm definitely excited about that because there's one of my favorite bands in general, not just like one of my favorite bands in Seattle. So very excited to hear those recordings when they eventually come out. But yeah, I bumped into him around maybe 7:50. Landon and I walked in. We went downstairs because at Cha Cha Lounge they got a bar upstairs, and you walk down the stairs to the basement, and there's a bar downstairs along with just that's the area where the bands play. It's not like a stage; it's like risen up. So when the bands are playing, like you're on the same level as them, and like just a few feet away from them, like eye to eye, standing. And so I think it's pretty cool that they're not playing like literally on a stage because it's almost like when I see a show there, it's like I'm participating in the experience in a way. Since like it's like you're very connected with the band, and that was really cool. Music started very soon after 8 o'clock with N3ster opening, and they played some new material last night. The first song and the last song they played were new, but it wasn't the first time they played them because I think the first time I heard those songs were when they played at Bat House, a DIY venue that isn't around anymore in Seattle, and that was like I think February I saw them play those songs. So the first song, last song, those were new material, but it wasn't the first time they played them. Although, actually, you know what? I think the last song that may have been the first time they played it, and then the second song, I think that was also the first time they played it. It all sounds really great. I thought the second song reminded me of Third Eye Blind a little bit, actually. But their new stuff, it just makes me think of like, it's like all indie rock. That's all their music, but it's like the new stuff makes me think of like early 2000s stuff. I don't know how to describe it, but like, I feel like if I could name a genre, I would just say like call the genre 2004, and I'd like throw N3ster into that. Just like early 2000s. It feels nostalgic, feels great. I love it. I've seen a few episodes of the show, The OC. I feel like the new N3ster songs could have been like in that soundtrack, just based on what I've seen in the show. But yeah, the new songs are great. Like I said, kind of have like a bit of a Third Eye Blind feel to it. In the last song they played, there was like a second and like the last 2 minutes of it where it just reminded me of the Twilight Zone. It's like the it's like there's like a split second where it sounded like that for a sec, and it's great to see those guys. Love all of them. Great music. Fun to catch up with them at the show. After N3ster, there was Pileup from Portland, which, like I said, N3ster was my 12th time seeing them. Pileup was my first time ever seeing them. Also, first time listening to them. I'd never heard them before. I thought they sounded great. It's kind of hard to describe the music, I think. A lot of it, it was a whole new experience for me listening to it. I think someone told me before the show it was like shoegaze music, which I don't listen to like a lot of, but I'll definitely have to listen to more of their stuff on like Spotify. Um, but yeah, great set. They even had someone playing keyboards or synthesizer, and so some of it reminded me of like a bit like the '80s, um, new wave kind of sound. Some of the their sound remind me of the Cure a little bit, um, but I think my highlight of the set were the last two songs. The second to last song was they covered "Yellow" by Coldplay, and it was so great. It was amazing. I was just had a smile on my face the whole time. Um, yeah, they did a really good job with that one. After the show, I was talking to them. Nathan, their singer and one of their guitarists, told me that was the first time they'd ever played that together. And Gray, who was their bassist, told me that was their first time playing it without fucking up. So um, it was cool talking with them for a bit after the show too, and after their sets. The very last song they played, there was no lyrics to it. It was all instrumental, but it was amazing. It was like very explosive, amazing way to end the set. So great. They played for about 45 minutes. N3ster played for about 30 minutes. Um, and yeah, I think the video I got of Pileup has about 10 minutes. It started about 10 minutes before they started playing, and you could hear their keyboardist really, I don't know, like honing in on on the sound he was doing, or I don't know, he was getting the keyboard ready for a while. But after Pileup, the third and final band was Fell Off, and they did amazing. Like I said, I love them. One of my favorite bands. It's my 14th time seeing Fell Off. I think they played for around 40 minutes or so. And this was very different for me. It was my first time seeing them like this. All the previous times I've seen them, they were a 5-piece last night, and from now on, they are a 4-piece. Because they used to have 2 guitarists, a bassist, drummer, and then Rob, who is their lead singer. But now the bassist is one of the guitarists, and one of their old guitarists left the band. I miss JJ. I miss seeing him in the band. Although I did see him, JJ was one of the 2 guitarists, although he left the band. I did see him briefly last night. He showed up to watch a show, so that was cool. But yeah, Ryan, who was the bassist, is now one of the guitarists, and Rob is now singing and playing bass. And honestly, before the show, I was like, gosh, I didn't know if it was going to be as great, because a lot of it, the performance aspect, I don't know how to put this, but Rob is such a great frontman and a great performer. And the thing, like, he would just like walk around the crowd with the mic. He would arrange the mic stand to where like the mic is hanging down. He's just like singing into it like that. So I felt like I was really gonna miss that performance aspect from Rob, but him playing bass didn't really hinder his performance. He sounded great. He sang great along with playing the bass great. I think I'm probably always going to still miss that performance aspect from Rob, but he did great, and the whole set was great. They started with a new song. Actually, after their sets, I got their set list. So the first one was new. It says Liffer. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but then they played Painted. Amazing set last night. Their second song was Painted, which is the first track off their first album, F/O for Fell Off. And then the third track was Distance, or Distance From Me, but it says Distance on the set list, which is the second song on their EP, E/P. I don't know, I think it's cool that their EP is titled E/P. Their fourth song, like, I love Distant From Me. I hadn't heard it in a while. Amazing song. They played it great as a 4-piece. Fourth song was Liza, or it says Liza on the set list. It's I think it's called Dalmatian Jasper for Liza. That's the first song off their EP, E/P. The fifth song they played was Fucked Up on their set list. It just titled Fucked, but that was very exciting to hear. At first, I recognized it, but I couldn't tell that it was the song Fucked Up. But that was probably the highlight of their set. Actually, I'd say hearing Dalmatian Jasper for Liza is probably my highlight of the set. I hadn't heard that one in quite a while either. But the only other time I'd heard Fucked Up before was the first time I saw them, which was in November of 2023. So great to hear that song. 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth song they played, the last three are all, they haven't been recorded yet. But Rob was saying before playing those songs that these next songs, they haven't been recorded. Like he was saying that like all these songs you've heard previously have been recorded. These next ones we're gonna be recording in May. So on the set list, the third to last song, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth song, it says SLC. So maybe that stands for Salt Lake City. I don't know. That was great. I don't think I've heard that before. I think that was like completely new. Their seventh song was Grams. I think I may have heard that one before. And then they ended with a song called, or at least on the set list, it's titled Paul. That one was new. So overall, amazing set. It was really cool to hear some new stuff from them. All of it sounds great. And I feel like Fell Off kind of has that like early 2000s like nostalgic feel too. And their sound is like, I felt like their sound and N3ster's sound are kind of like defining sounds of Seattle for me. Two of my favorite local Seattle bands. It's amazing to see them. I feel like Rob singing was a little bit different last night. Not bad at all, but it just felt like different. And maybe it's because he's also focused on playing bass too. But last night was different seeing them, but it was great. Yeah. So along with getting the set list, I also got the poster for last night's show. I just took it down from the wall. Boom. Here it is. And I got Nathan, who is the guitarist and singer of N3ster, and I also got Cameron, who's a drummer, to sign it. I think their two signatures might be like over here, but I'm not really sure whose signature is who on here. I also got all the band members of Pileup to sign it, except for the drummer. I couldn't find him after the show. And then I got all the band members that fell off to sign it. So that was pretty awesome. I'm glad I got this. I'm glad I got it signed too. But yeah, amazing show. And then the only other thing I got last night that I haven't showed you yet is I got a new Fell Off shirt. It's got some Simpsons characters on it. And it says Fell Off. And it says, Heaven knows I love you, dude. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a take on the song Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now by the Sniffs. But pretty cool shirt. I think this is like probably my fourth, maybe fifth Fell Off shirt in my Fell Off collection. But yeah, it was amazing. Like I said, sixth time going to a show at Cha Cha Lounge, 14th concert of 2026, 310th concert of my life, first time seeing Pileup, 12th time seeing N3ster, and 14th time seeing Fell Off. Yeah, great concert. I loved it. I think the first two songs that N3ster played, maybe first one and a half, I was wearing my earplugs, but the rest of their set, I just, I took them out. I'm gonna get hearing damage, but I just wanted to hear it like all the way, and they sounded so great. With Fell Off, I think maybe the first song or so, I didn't have my earplugs in, and then I put them on, and but they sounded really great. The first song they played, the new song, I felt like the vocals were too low, but then they were brought back up during the second song, and I think before the second or third song, I think before the third song, Rob said like, DIY is like doing the sound yourself, because like before the third song, I think he went to the soundboard and he adjusted the vocals to where we could hear him better. So by the third song, the vocals were coming through like the best. And yeah. Anyways, amazing show. Loved it. I'm glad I got to bring Landon with me. It was about an hour drive back home, and on the way back home, we listened to the new Nine Inch Nails album, Nine Inch Noise. On the way to the show, we listened to Billy Idol's debut album, just titled Billy Idol, and then we listened to EP2, which came out earlier this year from N3ster. And then after that, we listened to the first two songs off E/P by Fell Off, so that Landon could get a feel of what the music was going to be like that night. Anyways, I don't think I have anything else left to add, but thanks for watching the review. Thanks for watching the concert vlog. This will be at the very end of it. Yeah, that's all. I feel pretty awkward now. I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to end the video. Hope you have a great day, great night, great morning, whatever time it is. Hope you're doing great. See ya.